But it's just sort of how to self-assess your own social media page. Sort of like little tweaks that you can do, or ways that you can look at your coach's social media and give them some concrete ways to sort of up their social media presence. And that was something I learned, and I liked it. Julie talked about it with her new coaches. That much into like Coach Basics training about posting and what to post. She just tells them she wants them to have a presence.
Okay.
So a lot like what we talk about, just getting used to sharing your journey, making it like I talked about in my live video, like you're just creating your own reality TV kind of experience.
Right. What you talked about today, correct?
Yes. So what I liked about these top 10 little tweaks that we can do, and it's something that I think if we do it enough times, it just becomes habit for when we are posting for ourselves.
Right.
First one, and I've talked about it before, is that headline catcher. You know, is it like a scroll stopper? So,
right.
You know, and we talk about that, but I know that as new coaches, that's hard to, it's already overwhelming and scary to want to then post and then try to worry about how we word things, what to say, what not to say. And now, okay, well, I said I had a really great message, but nobody read it, you know, and that's where trying to get creative and finding like those thing that's going to stop people and actually read what you have to say. So
right.
I think we've done really good at sort of moving away from writing book-long things.
Right.
You know, I tried to read what Kim posted. I think it was Sunday, and it was her final like coming out and sharing that yes, she has breast cancer.
Right.
Too damn long.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Read it all. I think I read maybe like 4 or 5 paragraphs, you know, on Facebook, and then I was like, oh my gosh, like it's not done, and I just scrolled, and it just kept going and going and going on my phone. I was like, oh my God, I can't read anymore. You know, I commented real, you know, like, you know, you got this, you know, you're a badass, you know, and all that stuff, but I could not read anymore. Like it was just too much. Like if you have that much to say, put it in a damn video. I don't have that much time to read, you know, 20 little paragraphs on Facebook on my little phone.
Right.
So
I must have missed it.
So I just like, oh my God, I'm so glad we don't do that, that we're really working on making our pictures being like that, attention grabbing, you know, you've been doing so good at adding those quotes onto your photos. Like, have you noticed that, are you getting more reach or
yes,
responses and stuff like that?
But let me tell you, so my personal development,
yes,
I was getting more likes when I wasn't explaining what I was doing. And that kind of hit a nerve, you know, because they're talking about posting with content. Yeah. And it seemed like when the more content I put in my post,
yes, the less.
Hold on a minute. Or go ahead and talk. Is this an express bus? Okay. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, and it kind of freaks me out because I have a really good following, and since I started adding more content, it's like I'm getting less people looking at my posts or not even liking them anymore. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I'm writing it the wrong way. I don't know.
I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I mean, I would just keep sharing. Maybe just, you know, maybe you don't have to do it every day. And maybe it's just kind of something new.
Right.
that they're not sure either.
Well, I tried to put it, this is my personal development on my empty nester, you know.
Yeah.
So I quit. I haven't done it since Friday.
Okay.
You know, because I'm kind of giving it a rest, and then tomorrow I was going to do it this morning, and then I chickened out. But I'm still doing my personal development.
Yeah.
I'm just not posting it. Maybe I'll just go back to posting the picture on the bus, and then once a week just talking about my personal development.
Yeah. Or just share like whatever like aha moment you had from it, you know.
Right.
Or how you've been able to apply and utilize that personal development that you had for the week into your week. So maybe just to show how much how it's not just, you know, just reading for reading, that that it can be applied, and that if it wasn't for your personal development, then you know you may not have overcome something or reacted to it in a certain way.
Right.
Kind of a thing. So.
And I started talking about my eating because I know it's bad, and I'm not seeing the scale drop. I'm staying consistent, but I'm not having success anymore. And so your post today really hit home. You know, so I've talked about it since Monday, and because Sunday I taught myself I had a shake and one meal all day Sunday. You know, and last week I quit wearing my bracelets, so I thought I'd talk about it because I'm working my butt off, working out, but I'm not eating right, so my body's holding on to all the calories I'm putting in it.
Right.
You know, so I'm being honest about that. I don't know.
I mean,
but it just seems like I'm moving backwards the harder I'm trying. So maybe I shouldn't try so hard. I don't know. I'm confused now. I don't know if content makes them not think I'm too serious, you know, and not positive, but I'm being positive in my posts.
I think you're fine, honestly. Like, you have
maybe it just will take them time to realize, oh, this is what she's talking about. I don't know.
That's what I think it is. That's what I think it is.
Because on my group, challenge group page, all of them talk, you know, when I posted about my personal development and my emptiness.
They're all doing it,
you know, I had a lot of feedback on my group page, but not on my personal page or my fit page.
I have to say, a lot of people are just going to be, they're going to be really sort of apprehensive about anything that has to do with personal development because there's stigma on it.
Right.
Personal development, you know, it's because there's something wrong with you. Like that's like your cheap version of going to a therapist.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
Just getting them used to seeing you sharing it and then seeing the different types of personal development you're doing. You know, so, you know, enough people, you know, if you tag in your post about, you know, Eric Thomas or, you know, hip hop preacher, you know, then you're going to get those people who either hear about him, already know about him on your radar. So that I think you need to start doing is you need to start adding hashtags to your especially your personal development ones, because clearly your followers are not personal development doers, I guess, you know, practicers of it. Right. So you're trying to reach out to those who actually do it, are familiar, or maybe they're searching it, you know, maybe they saw something about ET or, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, you know, and hashtag that. Maybe they are empty nesters, so hashtag empty nester.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I've been doing that a lot because I've been doing Instagram and then I'm automatically posting to my fit page. So on Instagram, I always remember to add hashtags. On Facebook, I never remember to add hashtags, not worth a damn. So I'm loving the fact that I'm using Instagram more often and being more consistent.
Okay, yeah, I just started back.
I know. Hey, Annette's got Instagram. She's using it.
Well, I did it for a long time, but I never got any feedback. So I thought, I'm wasting my time. But then I listened to Julie today, and I'm gonna tonight when I go home go to that little site that she posted and see what I can do, because I have 500 and some followers, more than my Fit page.
Right.
So
yeah, I used to use a program, and it helps. It does help.
Right.
Okay, babies.
So, but she said something about tips.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get to listen to the whole thing. These two have just been driving me crazy since they're home from school.
Right.
All week. So that was tip one, like making sure everything you have is like a scroll stopper. And then number two is your offer clear? So, is your like message, the reason why you're posting, is it clear? Are you talking to, asking about, wanting to coach? Who are you talking to? Are you talking to someone who's interested in coaching? Are you talking to, like, for me, like, mom, like someone who's going through depression or an empty nester? Like, are you clear in how you're speaking? Because that is something I've noticed too, is if we're too vague and just talking just in generalizations, then you're never really going to really hone in on the kind of people that you need to have those specific coaches, that you get, that just go to work and you don't have to worry about it,
Right.
As opposed to you get those coaches who are sort of like, you don't know how the hell they connected with you because they are so much work.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, we have nothing in common, but yet she wanted to sign up underneath me, and now I'm trying to figure out how to just connect and, not use trigger words or whatever it is.
Right.
So
real quick.
Yeah.
No, I'll talk to you in private about it. Go ahead.
Okay, at the end, I'll stop recording and we can chat.
Okay.
So then the third one is, does your CTA stand out? CTA, your call to action, right? So sometimes, you can test it, and I don't do this, and I really need to, where, it doesn't have to be, like, join us, stop screaming. Horrible scream. Sometimes it doesn't have to be, like, join us, or, message me with I'm interested or whatever. It could literally be like, if you agree with, like, this, funny picture or quote or whatever, if you agree, if you feel me, you understand me, like, comment with a heart or what, those kinds of things, so it's less commitment. Yeah, and they can easily just put, like, oh, thumbs up, or, woohoo, kind of an emoji or whatever.
Right.
That just helps to get the engagement, again, onto your page. And then, you can create another conversation. So I like that. I was like, oh, I never thought to do that.
Right, because usually everybody comments, but no one will commit.
Exactly. And everybody. The next one is, are my images clear, and do they illustrate, the message that you are putting out there? And I would say, for the most part, everybody, at least on our team, they're doing that. Like, that's the one thing that I don't have to worry about, like, I don't go on there and be like, what the hell is that picture supposed to mean? I know exactly.
Right.
You guys have pictures and you add text or whatever. I clearly get it. I know it, and it's very awesome and creative. And it pushes me to, like, how do I need to be creative. What do I have around here that, that I could have a post on? Number 5 is, are you using enough images to convey your message? So Elizabeth likes to call it, like, your coach life. So I like to call it, like, your reality TV. She likes to call it coach life. And that was one thing that Kim and Tanya and them found from that Platinum Presenters retreat, was photos and video. Photos and video. Those are king. And there was a study that visuals are processed 60,000 times faster than text. So that's another big reason why we want to have our images and then like your quote on the image, because that is processed faster than actually just reading a straight black and white text of that exact same quote. Isn't that crazy?
Right.
1,000 times faster, our brain processes that by seeing it in an image.
Right. And I try to do that twice a day, a morning and a night, so they're always seeing my face. And I try to kind of pick a picture to the quote. Yeah. I don't know if it's working, but I try to.
I see it, and I'm like, that's really good. I think it's great to do that. The next thing is, and since you're using Instagram, is downloading the app called Flipagram. And that's what I use to do like those picture slideshows. And so those picture slideshows, that's where you could even, you know, on Pick, Play, Post, or no, not Pick, Play, Post, on Photify, that's where, you know, you could have like 7 different photos and you're having like text, you know. So you have like that eye-catching first photo with something that's, you know, attention-grabbing, and then the next picture could have like, you know, join my group, and could have some of the things that we talk about, you know, and then the next one can be like, you know, life-changing transformation, you know, and boom, you know what I mean? So like each picture, so you could totally like collectively, your entire week's worth of photos that you've done with text, you could turn it into a slideshow. And then you could post that. And then you can post that on Instagram and then automatically onto your Facebook page. So it's like highlight reel of my week, a coach life week. I literally just thought of that on the fly. I might do that.
Okay.
But
and you could do that on Photify.
Well, you can create them all on Photify, but you need to download another program called Flipagram.
Flipagram. Okay. And I wondered how everybody was doing that.
Yeah, so I like Flipagram. It's just, for me, that was just easier. I know some people, they use other ones, but I like Flipagram.
Well, I tried that monkey one. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I don't like that either. And I tried this Rana design one. That one takes me way too much, way too long. It's cool. It's got some way cooler fonts and colors and stuff, but it takes me like twice as long than Photify. So I don't remember that. I'll just stick with Photify, and if I need to do something fancy, I go on the computer and I do Canva. But Flipagram is a really great one if you want to turn your photos into a video, like a video message.
Right.
And I think still with Instagram you have like a minute, so you could do quite a few photos, and you can choose the time whether you want each photo people to look at 30 seconds, 5 minutes. You know, so you can change it, and then you can even add music too. But music is always tricky.
Right. I don't add music because I know they'll pull it off if they don't.
Exactly.
You know.
So they do have some tracks already on that app. Okay. And so those ones are okay because those are just, it's just literally just music. It's not, there's no lyrics or anything like that. But just using there. But I like that. Number 6 is any distractions on your page. So we talked about this last week about using, instead of sharing other people's videos, you know, and recipes and stuff like that, how we can save it to our computer and share it as our own content.
Right.
And so that's just because that's just a distraction. That, you know, people like that video, that recipe, then they're going to click on who originally posted it. That person can get credit, not you.
I haven't tried it yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah. You've got the video. You can always refer to it. So, you know, it's cool. I'm starting to see which ones work better. So all of like those smoothie, juicy sweet ones.
No.
No. Nobody likes that.
Okay. I do get a lot on my recipes, so I need to start doing that.
At least for my people, nobody likes that.
Right.
You know, you could always Google, like, if there's a recipe that you make a lot, you know, type it in, Google it, see if somebody's already done a video on it. You know?
Okay.
Time. And then, you know, and then of course at the end in your post, you give them the source, but the video content, everything like that, originally is going to be posted on your page.
Right.
Number 7 is, are you showing enough proof that your product is worth it? Right? So I want you to like, I need everyone to get away from proof the product works, right? My shirt.
Right.
The product does not mean you have to show, you know, like the scale changing or waist size, you know, getting smaller. That's not proof the product works, because you don't that doesn't necessarily mean that you're healthier.
Right.
It is. I mean, look at Kim. You know, they found a lump, you know, in her breast with breast cancer, and she even said, you know, today in her video that she was like, really, it was hard for her to process it. You know, she's like, I eat healthy, I work out every day, I'm eating all these things, I go to a naturopath, you know, and she's like, and it still happens.
Right.
So, but for her, as a great example, as proof the product works, is that it's not just about the weight loss and the transformation. It's also about the mental, because somebody who is not strong enough, who doesn't have the consistency and the tools already set in place, that, you know, your world just falls apart. And then, are you really gonna go back to eating? Are you, no, not even go back. Are you then gonna start to eat right because you got diagnosed with cancer? You know, are you gonna start working out? No, you're not. That was like me when I found out I was pregnant the first time. I was like, oh hell, I don't need to work out. I can just eat whatever the hell I want. And then I had the baby, and then I got pregnant again. I was like, well, shit, this just made it so much harder. I should have worked out the whole time. I should have kept eating right, not eating a whole Ben and Jerry's every night. You know, I didn't have those proper things set in place. So that is what I feel like proof the product works, is that we're consistent. You know, that we already know that we drink our shake, not so that we expect to lose weight. We drink it that we know that we stay healthy, we have a strong immune system, and that it allows us to be regular every day. You know, we work out not thinking that we're going to get six-pack abs. We work out because we want those endorphins to just skyrocket. We want to feel better about ourselves and feel better in our skin.
Right.
Whether it's tight or not, we just want to feel better in it, damn it, you know?
Right.
So that's where I feel like, are we showing that it works? And I really feel like we need to sort of move away from, you know, it works because I lost this many pounds, and because, you know, I got, you know, definition in my legs and blah, blah, blah. Yes, those are great, you know, anecdotes to say on like on what you can get from that program. But I think there's so much more we can talk about on really, you know, like country heat. Country heat is nothing like size, you know, and people try to compare it like that, and it's nothing like size, because I personally have a hell of a lot more fun doing country heat.
Me too.
Personality and little flair than I was able to with size. Size, I was like so serious trying to get it, and I was like, oh damn it, I totally messed it up. I'll wait till the end and I'll start all over again. You know, country heat, there's no pressure, and it's just a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I think
I'm really trying to show that it's fun.
Exactly. I think also too the way that the interaction. I mean, I love Shaun T, but for some reason in size, and I think it's just the way that it is with dance, he was not really able to interact with the background cast, and I think that was a disservice, because then we don't get to know the background cast. We don't get to see their personality really, and we've always been able to with all of his other programs. He's always been able to take a moment, walk away, and highlight other people.
Right.
So that was, yeah, I mean, we talk about no stock photos, which I think I haven't seen stock photos from y'all in a while, so that's totally fine, and it's great. You know, people are going to be skeptical, so they're going to always be, and you know, with your demographics, they are very much, you know, pounds and scale oriented, but I feel like that puts so much pressure, you know, on them. And then on us too, you know, like, because they're looking at us like, well, shit, she didn't lose any weight on Country Heat, so it must not work.
Right.
That was the focus, you know.
Right.
Instead, the focus needs to be on how much fun it is, how you can make it harder, how my legs are still sore, even though I did not have to do a squat. You know?
Yeah, my knees hurt a lot more doing Country Heat than Insanity Max 30.
Right? So those are things that we can talk about, you know, as and sharing and highlighting it. And that can be, you know, your
approaching.
You know, or information.
10 for 2. Not 156.
What gets your knees, you know, you never thought that, you know, country line dancing could make your knees hurt more than Max 30.
So, you know, I got a lot more response when I did it in my boots and my pants.
See?
Yes.
Yeah. Like it was like concrete blocks.
Yeah, it was like, and I go dancing. I mean, I dance in my boots, but not like that.
Right.
So it was interesting to see how everybody reacted. But I thought I'd try something different because you and I had talked about it. Mm-hmm. But it got a lot of response on Saturday. So.
Yeah. I think it would be cool if you do it with, like, you know how I did it with the boys, and there was one video that I had to hold Theo.
Right.
Like, just videotape. You don't even have to even do like the actual workout. Just videotape you with your grandsons, you know, like holding Forrest or whatever, you know, doing a few moves and stuff like that.
Okay.
You know, because that's another niche, you know, like grandmas. You can still work out with the grandbabies.
Right.
You know, grab them. That's a little extra resistance.
Right. Okay, I'll do that this weekend if I'm going to have them.
Okay. Number 8, are we addressing potential objections? So, you know, I've given you guys all of those objections, you know. I don't know, and we've never actually gotten a chance to actually save them into your phone or whatnot, you know, having them accessible.
Right.
But I mean, I think you're doing a great job as it is. So if you don't feel like it's a necessity, then don't worry about it. But I love it. I mean, I have a whole section literally on my phone, and you know this, that if I do have someone, I go to that objections and I just look for like objections. Let's see. Too much money, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's my response. It might seem that way, but actually it's really an incredible deal. You have to remember you're getting a month's worth of meals in bulk with Shakeology. It breaks down to $4 a meal, which is like a Starbucks latte.
Right? I think Margot needs all of those. She gets a lot of those, and it kind of makes her frustrated, but I told her, just keep watering the seeds. They'll come around, you know. So,
just remind me, I will tag her on that team call.
Okay.
Somewhere down the line about objections.
Okay.
Because even when you were doing it a little bit, I saw like your Shakeology post, like talking about like what's in Shakeology. That's addressing a potential objection. You know?
Right.
You know, or talking, or you know, when it's payday, you know, you can talk about, hey, you know what, or it might seem, you know, like a big chunk out of your paycheck when it's on payday, but it, you know, you just put aside $20 a week, or you know, whatever it is a week.
Right.
It's totally worth it, you know, or that equals to this much less in vegetables that you have to buy and throw away.
Right.
Kind of a thing, or you know, just making it more realistic. When you go to the farmer's market, you know, you can like, this is how much $140 worth of groceries is.
Right.
And do you think,
I don't even spend that much anymore.
I know. But like when you show them, like, this is $140 worth of groceries. Do you think you eat this in a month?
Right. Thank you.
You know, like, could you get all of this and not waste a thing in a month?
Right.
You know, and maybe they could, maybe they couldn't. But those are like the questions, you know, that we need to ask in order to really make that dollar amount not so scary.
Okay.
You know, so like, you know how like they show that video of like, this is all that you would have to have daily just to make up for one shake.
Right.
You know, so maybe then you could, you know, you can take a screenshot of that one section of that video or find a Google picture of that video.
Mm-hmm.
Ask, you know, can you buy all of these? No.
Right.
You can't.
No.
And, you know, so $4 times 30 days is $120.
Right.
And can you get all these vegetables for 30 days for only 120 bucks? You know,
okay.
like breaking it down into numbers, dollars, because that's what people are always going to object about is the damn money, you know.
Right.
But then when they really look at it, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I can't. That stuff is too much. So I like doing that, attacking, already addressing a question or an objection that we get very often.
I could do that because before I started Shakeology, I used to do wheatgrass, which was $50 a month. I used to do spirulina. That was $50 a month. And that's only 2 ingredients from Shakeology, and that's $100 right there. And I don't even think it lasted me a month. And I have all them empty jars too.
Oh, perfect. So there you go.
Yeah.
That can even be something that you go live about.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about a bunch of live ones. I want to do one on the containers, that this is what you get and this is how they work. I want to do one on the DVDs. I want to do one on the menu book. You know, I'm going to try, and I've been thinking a lot about how to bring up my content. I don't know. I guess I'm angry because I have 5 links out since the first week of this month.
Right.
Not one of them have filled it out, and one from last month. So they all want to sign, but then when I send them the links, they don't fill them out. And I don't want to bug them every other day or once a week. I already bugged them enough to get them to sign up, and now they don't even want to fill out the thing. So what am I doing wrong?
I don't think you're doing anything wrong. It's just it's them. That's the thing, is that
I could be a SC10 right now. You know, and then I posted that I had 5 links out last week on Fitspire Empire, all in, and now I feel like a jackass because I'm not even on the board yet. And I'm going to, if you notice, I wasn't going to talk about it, but I'm going to lose my rank, my Ruby rank on the leadership board.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm reading it right, but it says, on the first column it says Emerald, on the second column Ruby, and then on the very last one for this month, it says Emerald. But it doesn't say my rank's in jeopardy yet.
Mm-hmm.
But on that little leadership board,
right,
it's projected that I'm going to fall to Emerald.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, look at it. I don't know if I'm reading it right, but it freaked me out when I seen that Emerald by my name and it's projected for this month. I mean, if I lose it, I lose it. I'll work hard to get it back, but you know, okay. Because I know it said today I got a message about Alicia and Billy Joe. Well, I know they're on auto ship, so it's just that time of month that they're projected to be.
Right.
But I know their orders are automatic, and I talked to both of them today. They're like, I'm not stopping my order. I'm not stopping my order. So right. I'm not worried about that. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But I'm not going to get upset about it because I'll get back on it. But, you know.
That might be it, just because, yeah, like that would affect your number of active coaches you have on your right leg.
Right. But they're going to order, so I'm not worried about it. This month, by the end of the month, they'll have their shipments. Exactly. And I did contact them about it. Mm-hmm. But, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So that's just another reason why, you know, we just want to keep making sure we add at least 2 more coaches to your right side, just to make that more solid.
Right, and I'm waiting on the letter from Christina's, because I have her as a coach. As soon as she gets that letter,
Right.
she'll go on my right leg, and I'm in talks with Andrea Pena, but her wedding's coming up. She wants to be a coach, but she wants to get her wedding out of the way, and then she'll order a challenge pack and sign up as my coach.
Right.
So I have 2 that will go on my right leg, but you know what, whenever, I just hope it happens before the end of the year, because that's my goal. And I know I'm not putting all of my, all my rocks in one bag, because I know things can be different.
Yeah.
You know, something could happen, but I'm always thinking, okay, who's my next coach? Who's my next coach? But until that happens, I'm depending kind of a little bit on these 2 girls to put me into Diamond. But, you know, I'm working on it. And I kind of got away from Kim's group. If she takes me out, that's fine. I just can't post in all these groups anymore, because I feel like I'm posting the same thing every day. And they don't need to hear that I did my personal development. I sent emails because I'm doing it. You know, so
I don't post every day. I literally just, when I have like a good tidbit, I do. And that's it. So I wouldn't worry. Just do what you do, and participate when you want, how you want. And
okay.
And it should be fine. The last ones in the top 10, like tweaking your social presence, was actually last 2 was, does the format of the page make it easy to read? And that's just sort of like, that's just something that I'll have to teach you on, how to like customize your fit page, like that long banner that goes on the top of it.
Right.
You know, and that's just making, and when you learn how to customize that, then you can change things, and it's just another visual thing. That's really what it is. People see that you customize it, then they think like, oh, she must really be involved in this, or she must be a higher rank, because all the high top ranking coaches, they all do it. They all do customized banners and all those fancy images.
Okay.
The last one is just providing info, value to make an informed decision. So like when you are doing a post to offer like a challenge pack, like do they have a way to contact you? And you do,
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. I've seen all of our posts, and we either message me, you give the email, my phone number, comment below. So that's
right.
not a problem. So I would say that really most things that we would have to work on is just the distractions on your page, the proof of the product, that it's worth it, that it's not so heavily based on number of pounds lost and number of inches lost.
Right.
And making the shift to using more images and creating videos. We're going live.
Yeah, I need to, and I was good on videos. I don't know what stopped me since I broke up with Ron. I don't know. And I'm trying to figure it out. So I'll work on it.
Yeah. I think you'll be fine. You're going to blow up with content once January comes. So
once what?
Once January comes, you're going to have tons of things to talk about and tons of things to share about. So just for the time being, just finding those things to say and to share without, I think you're afraid that you might slip up and say something.
Right.
And that's I totally understand that. But if you already clearly have an idea of what you want to say or what you're talking about that's not so personal, then you should be fine to go and do videos.
Okay.
The next thing I want to talk about was my new book.
Okay.
I was contemplating whether I should get it. I literally saw this on Amazon after, like, I think like a day or two after, you know, we had our whole fiasco of a coach, you know, sign up last month.
Uh-huh.
I saw this and I was like, yes, that's exactly what I feel like. Fuck feelings. But then I saw Mindy Horde. She's reading this book as well. And I was like, okay, if Mindy's reading this, then it's got to be good. And so I just read for the first chapter today. I think it's very cool. I mean, it is a father and daughter who wrote the book together. So the father is a shrink, and the daughter, I think, is like a blogger.
Uh-huh.
And of course, and it was just very cool. I mean, each chapter starts with fuck. So the first chapter is fuck self-improvement.
Oh.
And then it goes fuck self-esteem, fuck fairness. Oh, he hates the words fair and I can't remember what the other F word is. I'll find it. I highlighted it. But he hates the word fair. Like, things are not fair, and you can't ever be fair. So he doesn't like that. And then the other chapters are like fuck helpfulness, fuck serenity. There's even a chapter called fuck love.
Oh.
There's fuck communication, fuck parenthood, fuck assholes, and the last one is fuck treatment, which I think is funny coming from a shrink.
Right.
Right? But, you know.
So what's it about?
So it is like, literally, it is taking apart self-development and self-improvement, and that, you know, you need to accept you for who you are, our strengths and our weaknesses, and you cannot change them. What your weaknesses, they are always going to be your weaknesses. And your strengths are always going to be your strengths. And that he like blew some of these psychologists and therapists out the water. Think like, if you go to a therapist and they are actually like on your side trying to change you and make you a better person, they are taking your money.
Oh.
All they're doing, because you can't change who you are. You can just learn how to not let certain triggers affect you and go down that road, but you cannot change the makeup of who you are.
Right.
And I love that. So I'm going to share like some little not some, but like a lot of little tidbits I thought were really good for today, and I think for at least where I'm at, and I think it might help you and the rest of the ladies who watch this later. But like he talks about, you know, stop wishing that you could have something or be like something or do something, and suck it up, turn your bullshit wish into a goal that can actually be achieved. I was like, oh, it's the best sentence ever. And that's just in the introduction, he's saying this. We haven't even gotten to chapter 1, and that's exactly how he starts it off. He was like, you need to accept that there's going to be some losses that never stop hurting, so you can stop delving into them. You need to get used to living with a free heart and try to build a better life. You know, some people, you know, some people may have depression, or, you know that they have like a certain addictions. And he even addresses that. Like, you need to accept depression is often chronic and incurable. So you can stop blaming yourself for not controlling it, stop treatments that don't seem to be helping, and embrace whatever positive steps help you to live with and manage your illness or issue. So I love that. And I was like, okay, you know, it's a lot of this first chapter is talking about, you know, fuck self-improvement, which is really stop blaming ourselves. Stop putting guilt on ourselves. And when we're able to do that, then we're able to actually think clearly and have the proper action steps in order to live a happier life. He says,
maybe I need that book.
I love this book. He was like, stop asking why you've got weaknesses and start preventing them from turning them in let me see this again. Stop asking why you've got weaknesses and start preventing them from turning you into a jerk.
Oh.
I like to use those things. Like look past the disappointment, resentment, or neediness that result from the issue so you can be managed realistically, you know. And I like the thing too, in each chapter, in each section, he gives you examples. So like a bad wish that you should not say to yourself is, I want to be my best me. He says that's a bad wish.
Oh.
What you need to take that and turn it into a goal that you can actually do something with, because what the hell does that mean? Be my best me. I mean, it's not like I woke up thinking I wanted to be an asshole, you know, be the worst one ever, you know. Right. So really, like, that's a silly wish that doesn't give us anything as far as how do I work towards that. What it should be is learn to accept me isn't the best, and that'll do. So you need to learning to accept that sometimes I'm not perfect, I can't always be the best, and that's okay.
Right.
You know, that's a goal. He says that's a good goal. That's something that can actually be helpful. You
right.
know, or another bad wish, and I say this, is learn to love myself. He says that's a bad wish to say to yourself. That really we should be saying, love the effort I put into putting up with myself.
Oh, okay.
You know, because it's true. When we say just learn to love myself, that's really saying that you hate yourself every day, that you're not doing anything good for yourself. And that's not true. Really, when we say we need to learn to love ourselves, it means on those weak moments,
right,
we need to then love the effort in loving ourselves. That, you know, we did put effort. And it goes back to the first thing about, but I'm not perfect and I did my best. You know, so it's that whole revolution of acceptance and not putting guilt and not, you know, throwing ourselves under the bus.
Right.
He says, you know, that in this book, he believes profanity is a source of comfort, clarity, and strength. It helps to express anger without blame, to be tough in the face of pain, and to share determination without sentimentality. And I really, he hates the words fair and feelings. That's what it was. He says he will not tolerate these two obscene F words. He calls them obscene. Fear or fair and feelings are two obscene F words.
Wow.
My man, I love this. So when he dives into the actual chapter of, you know, fuck self-improvement, he's talking about, you know, that when you buy a self-help book, that's usually the second to last step. Admitting to a crisis, like that's your cry for help, right? He says usually the first step is buying a gym membership, and then the second step is your self-help book.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, well, I'm not sure how I can relate that to help me with my business.
Right.
But good to know. So then he talks about, you know, that life sucks, you know, our control sucks, but it's not personal, that there are limits to what we can do, to how we can change ourselves. And recognizing those limits is what's essential to being able to manage the bad behaviors, managing like the bad little pieces of our character, of our personality, that we want to change, you know, that we all have, we're all dysfunctional, you know what I mean? We all have weirdness to us, you know, things that have happened. Right. And I like how he mentions too, like those who appear to not have been exposed to like weirdness and shit like that, they'll just reveal their mental dysfunction like at a later time, but they're just pretty much faking it, trying to make it look like everything is great. That real confidence comes from knowing you've used what limited strength you have to do what's important to you. That's where confidence comes. Confidence doesn't need to come where, you know, you are amazing at everything. It's knowing that you have done your best and what's important to you using all of your strengths. And I thought that was really great. I'm like, yeah, he's not going to give you any fluff and, you know, boost you up and give you all these, like, he doesn't guarantee that at the end of this book, you're going to be a better person. You may still be an asshole at the end of this book, but you may be less of an asshole most days. You may have less asshole tendencies, is what he says will happen. But he's not going to ever, say that you're going to be an amazing person like Mother Teresa.
Right.
And when I read this, like, it reminds me a lot of like Tony Robbins. Like, if you've watched his Netflix documentary, because he like uses curse words because it shocks people. It gets people out and actually out of the box and think. When you're too like frou-frou and lovey-dovey and stuff like that, like, you don't really dive deep and actually have any thought-provoking changes. And what I like is that in each section, he talks about a different type of person or a different type of self-development or self-improvement. So if you feel like you need to take back the reins of your life, there's a little section. And he'll talk about, here's what you really can control and what you should do. And he always gives you 3 examples. So sort of like 3 different people and in that same kind of situation and how they felt. And then he'll give you a quick diagnosis. So what that type of person would say they wish for, what you should actually be saying to yourself, and then he gives you call to actions, what to do. So I'm like, thank you. This is what I need. I don't need to go to a therapist anymore. And he gives you a script at the end of what you can tell someone, like how to express yourself to someone to explain what you're going through, right? So like this one, let me give you like the one that I feel like is me. Well, I actually like this one. This one works. It's good for everyone. So this one is taking back the reins of your life. So like after a stampede, right? So like you're feeling helpless. It doesn't mean that everything's going to turn out badly or that you're doing a poor job. You just need to ignore the terrible meltdown feeling, take credit for how you're handling the problem rather than getting carried away, and you'll be proud of the many more options to consider. So, this, I think, both you and I sort of go through this, where this was like an example of last month where we had the crazy, coach who signed up twice. And thinking that you were doing a shit job as a coach, ignore that meltdown because that is just feelings and being irrational and all those crazy things. So ignore that and look at and see, how did you handle the situation, right? Looking at all the steps. And then being able to reflect, okay, did I do a bad job? Or, no, I did a good job. The blame needs to be on the other person. Right. And so then you can be like, okay, so those feelings of all that craziness are just irrational and I don't need to waste my energy on that. I can move on. I can be proud of how I handled it. And now I can see all the other options on how to handle it again in the future. Right. So he was saying that, you cannot control, there are things you really can't control, but you feel that you should. Like we can't control income or lack thereof. We can't control that. We can control the job we have that gives us the income, but we cannot control our income. We can't control our relationship status or lack thereof. Like that has a life of its own. What we can control is like the communication we have within that relationship, the connection we have within that relationship, but where it goes and the status of it is not in our control because it's another person too. We can't control the other person. How we feel about other people, how they feel about us, obviously we can't control that. Your offspring after they've exited your body is exactly how he says it. You cannot control. Your ability to refuse the gravitational pull of a party-sized bag of pretzel M&Ms. Literally, he has this written in here. Or all the booze that you want, or your phone after all that eating and drinking when your deadbeat ex is still a text away. We cannot control those things. Those we feel like we should be able to control, but we can't. And so what he says is that the wishes that we express when we feel like we need to be able to take control when things are spiraling is that we need to regain control with what we thought we once had, but we really never had it. Figure out how to get close to family members to control them or to stop feeling helpless all the time. And he gives 3 little stories about 3 different people. One is about a guy who's hardworking and who felt like he had a really great job, a great marriage, and one day, you know, he gets laid off, and then within that same year, his wife doesn't want to be married to him, and now he feels like an amazing loser, and he just wants to regain control of his life. So he feels that he has no control, and he's helpless. Another one is talking about her son and how he's always just sort of been getting into trouble. And she just feels like she can't control him as far as just making good decisions and not getting in trouble. And the last one is that this person says that they're the world's biggest phony because at work people think that they've got it all together, but really they're just a nervous wreck. That anytime they have to do a presentation, they are nervous, they can't sleep, they don't eat, and they just turn into a mental case. So he goes ahead and says that, you know, there's different kinds of feelings, and sometimes you're gonna feel you just fucked, like you just screwed, and that some people get sucked into feeling like they have bad luck, it wasn't their fault, they take it personally, and it can destroy a good person's belief in their own values and motivation. But other people just turn into like they're helpless, like they don't have any control, like life is happening to them, and no matter what they do, nothing is going to change. So he goes ahead and says, instead of searching for mistakes or weaknesses, we need to judge ourselves realistically. So even if your situation is due to like a foolish mistake, he says, learn from it, stop blaming yourself for the bad results you don't control. And that if you dwell on and second guess yourself, believing you deserve punishment, you're going to have more trouble figuring out the smart and the right thing to do than if you had just accepted the situation and accepted the mistakes and learned from it. If you keep second guessing and overanalyzing and sort of like, so like we do, I think as women we like replay the same situation scenario over and over. What could have I done differently, or did I miss that signal, or what if, you know, I had done this or that? That doesn't really give us any resolution, right? It doesn't help us to not make the same mistake again. So he says, once you've separated overwhelmed feelings from realistic feelings, then your performance is going to improve. You're going to be able to build self-respect and get to work managing your life. And then, of course, then everything else falls into place. So the quick diagnosis, he goes and he tells you, this is what you wish for, but you can't have. So praise, salary, family you'd feel like you deserve, peace, love, happiness, the knowledge that your present is right on track, or confidence in your ability to keep it there. You wish that you have that, but you can't. What you're actually going to aim for and achieve, and this is what you're going to say, is create reasonable standards for what you can actually do. Respect yourself for meeting your standards. Survive pain, fear, and distress, and give yourself credit for doing it. And not let pain change your values, basic course, or determination. And I love that. And he gives you these call to actions. Here's how you can do it, which I love because, great, those are things I'm supposed to tell myself. Now, how the hell am I supposed to do it when I'm already in this cycle and in that moment? He says, look for pre-meltdown red flags. Ask yourself whether you could reasonably be expected to do anything different. Okay, hold on. Rate yourself for work effort, for honesty, and the value of your priorities. Assume you deserve better. Find a friend or therapist who can remind you that you lived up to your values and the helplessness and humiliation have nothing to do with you. So like what you do to me, or what you do. You come to me and I reassure you of your values, of your hard work, your motivation, why you're doing it, so that to disqualify all of the other crazy second guessing. And then the last thing he does say, you can check with a therapist to see whether there are any behavioral and or medications that might reduce anxiety or depression if they're extreme. And my favorite is that he gives you a script. I put a heart on it because he gives you a script on this is how you tell someone or yourself what you're feeling when you're feeling fucked up. It says it right there. That's what it says. And he puts it like in brackets on like Mad Libs, like you could fill in the blank. So it gives you examples of how you could fill in the blank. So you could say, dear family, dear me, or dear fuck up. It says that right there. I know you feel like the royal fuck up, or you feel like we are on the verge of, and then insert your mistake or tragic experience, and life feels like an unholy disaster. The truth is, however, that life often sucks, and sometimes I can't expect to feel other than, and he says, insert a classier word for shitty. I don't really know another word for shitty. So, can't expect to feel other than shitty, especially given issues in the past regarding whatever. Bad luck, anxiety, addiction, depression, unemployment, whatever you want to say. So don't take it personally, and do take credit for whatever good things you were doing, even if they were totally ineffective at fending off this mess. Take pride in doing a good job, regardless of bad luck, bad genes, mental pain, and don't stop. So I thought those were great because for each situation, like he has one where it's like, if you need to get to the root of the problem, if you want to be a more positive person, if you want to stop fucking up, if you want to cure yourself of an addiction. So just like all the steps that I shared with you, he does the exact same thing. And at the end, he gives you a script. So I think this is awesome because I could totally use that script. I mean, each one has a different script, but it's nice. Like sometimes you need more than just a quote or a mantra. You need to like read it out loud, like, you know, it is okay, and just accept it and let's move on. Like there's another one that's like, it's when you're trying to be like a positive person, and at the end it just says, I will be open about my problem in meetings or tweets or on Facebook. I will welcome observations about my behavior without retaliating and track my progress over time, either on my computer in a secret journal or on Facebook, and I will not give up. You know, it's sort of like writing yourself like that really awesome motivational letter to yourself, but he already gives it to you, so it's like on point and stays on the target. So I just really liked the first chapter. I thought it was really cool. I think as the chapters go on, it'll be a little more specific, because this first chapter he tries to address, you know, the top 6 different types of people. You know, people who just feel like they're a fuck up all the time, they can't do anything right. People, you know, who are struggling with addiction. People who feel like they're just negative. People who feel like they don't know what their actual problem is. And then the last one is those who feel like life is getting out of control and they're helpless. And so there's just a lot of information in there. But then all the other chapters, I think, really get to being more specific, like talking about self-esteem. So you feel like you're a loser, or power of persuasion, bullies, overcoming the stigma of disability. When I read that, I was like, that needs this chapter. You know, there's like, the fairness one is funny. I like the love one and the communication one, you know. It's like, you know, finding someone, getting to commitment, changing for love, enjoying healthy sex, salvaging lost love. But I really do think that the introduction, so I would go on Amazon, and I think you could read the introduction on Amazon. Just see, you know, if it's like 2.5 pages. So see if the way that, you know, the wording and everything like that, if that connects with you. And if it doesn't, it's all right. You know, I'm probably going to be sharing as I'm reading this, like some fun aha moments and stuff like that to connect with other people. Because there are other parts that he talks about, and I do like it, and it does connect with me, where I'll still think about, you know, like my past and like, well, what if, you know, or what would life have been like if, you know, I stayed with so-and-so, and, you know, those kinds of things. And in the book, you know, he talks about where we have to stop doing that because that's in the past, you know, and there were probably very good reasons why we didn't stay or why it didn't work, or you know, there's nothing else that you could have done to make it better, or this or that, or and all that kind of stuff. So he really just talks about the only reason why you need to reflect on the past is for at that moment to being able to eliminate the feelings and to realistically put down, were there things I could have changed, that I could have changed for myself? Not that I could have changed for him or for my kids, but anything that I could have personally changed with my strengths that I have. And if there wasn't, move on.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I thought that was really cool. And it's just nice.
That sounds like a really good book. I'll look at it.
It's nice that he picks it apart and then he gives you examples of 3 different types of people. And then he actually gives you something useful at the end of how to actually talk to yourself, how to word things,
Right.
and what to do. I really like those kinds of books that give me something to do, to reflect on. I think that's another reason why I like
Eric Thomas's book does to me.
exactly.
Because you have to write,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
And that's why I think why I like that 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, is because he does the same thing at the end of each chapter. He gives you 3 different things, either to reflect on for yourself, to ask of others about yourself, and what to ask your leaders. So that's what I really like. I like having those. I don't like to read books that are just lead me the same way. Like, it just depends on what it is that I found with value of that chapter. No, I like these where they're like telling us, this is what you should have found valuable in this chapter. This is what was supposed to be the whole point. And now this is what you need to do with it. So that's my little thing. My last thing I'm not really going to talk about it, but Platinum Presenters, I finally got in on the Coach Basics and all that training. I finally have access to all of that. And I was going to tell everyone and tell your new coaches to go ahead and sign on that, but then I was like, oh, but I don't think I want to do that. I don't want to then push them off to another website, because it's another username, it's another password, it's another thing they have to log on the computer for, you know.
Right.
So what I'm thinking I might do is I'm going to try to do it this weekend, because my husband's going to be out of town, so I'll have some time, is I'm going to record each of the videos. I'm going to screen share my computer screen, and I'm going to record it. That way then I can actually share it and put it up in a Coach Basics.
Okay, that sounds better.
So
Because it kind of confused everybody when I posted it, because you need a new password. And I didn't even put the password.
Blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to do that. I think I'm literally just going to try and screen share the
Content.
And then I'll record that video, you know, as if I'm watching it. But I'm still going to use all the other content that we've used in the past Coach Basics.
Right.
And I just feel that these videos also will help. Because she does it differently. She does a 14-day sort of like kickstart.
Uh-huh.
And then she does a Coach Basics.
Right.
I think it'll be just fine to be able to add her 14-day kickstart into our 14-day normal Coach Basics.
Okay.
Because it's just a video, you know. You can watch the video and it'll give you either some background info on something that we're going to talk about, you know, like Success Club or Challenge Packs or so that, or the video might be a review. And honestly, we can never have too much review at the beginning as a coach.
Right.
You know, It might be the way she explains it, might be easier for people to understand versus the way I explain it, or it could be vice versa, you know. So I think I'm going to do it that way. So let your coaches know that I will start that. I don't know. Should I start that this month, or do you want to start Coach Basics to start it in November?
Yeah, let's just wait till November, because maybe I'll have some more coaches to add into that.
Yeah. And just keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to stop recording actually right now.
Okay, because I need to